الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Everyone, everywhere in the world, I would like to welcome you to this seminar. Um, this seminar is definitely very, very significant in terms of paving the way for all of you to really be efficient, productive in at work, and be as happy as you can be, and as satisfied and as comfortable and as respected, appreciated at work as possible. And it doesn't just come overnight. It does take some work and hard work. So today I would like to uh, just give you an introduction, because a code of ethics is not just a one day kind of a thing. It does take some time for someone to learn it, to give you courses about it. If you go join a company to do that, so it does take some time to get into it. But we are going to warm you up into it, and most importantly, to show you why do you need to know about the code of ethics. Why is it so important and significant to learn and apply such a thing? So let me just uh, fix my presentation and get started, hopefully. And also, I would like to say that questions will be welcome by the end of the seminar, and we go from there, inshallah. Okay. Um, should I, brothers? First of all, I would like to thank brothers Naeem Muzaffar and Dr. Muhammad Ismail and brother Shakirullah, mashallah, for this nice invitation. And hopefully this will be a beginning for a nice, long, beautiful relationship, educational, and we go from here, inshallah. So when we talk about code of ethics, I believe the first thing you would like to ask is, this is not really work. I go to work to work, not to deal with some extra rules, some extra regulations that I don't need. So probably you'll be asking yourself many questions. Let's take some of these questions, and hopefully we can, answer them, inshallah, through this presentation. Are you ready? Here you go.
Yes, sir.
I say that the questions that this seminar will be answering, that's, I believe, the most important thing that you need to keep in mind. Why am I here? I'm here to answer these questions, okay? The first question I would like to answer is, does it matter if others are acting unethically? The first thing that comes to your mind when you go to a company to work anywhere. It could be a smaller organization, it could be a supermarket, it could be any kind of business. You think about yourself and say, I'm doing what I need to do. I believe, to the best of my knowledge, whether I'm religious or not, I stick to the rules. But does it really matter if others are acting unethically? I am ethical. I know about that. Am I obligated to do something about that, or can I just brush it off and just let it go? Act as if I'm not seeing that. Keep that in mind, and I will answer that, inshallah, through this seminar. Second, am I responsible if I see a violation of ethics and not do something about it? That's extremely important. And you'll see also where I'm coming from through this seminar, and how it will be at the end of the seminar so quick for you to answer these questions, because they through the knowledge you will gain, inshallah, you'll be able to answer them. Next question that this seminar will be answering is, can ethics be sacrificed in some situations? So can it be compromised? Is it something that it's like a gray area, or is it just black and white? Keep this in your mind, and we'll answer it, inshallah. Are you with me? All right.
Yes, we're with you and we hear you clearly.
Perfect. Okay. Question that comes to your mind is, what motivates me to be ethical? Okay. Something is pushing you. Something is pushing you, should be pushing you through this evidence that I have for you, inshallah, today, that you will always find something pushing you to be ethical. So you are now right now is searching what is that special thing that is motivating me to be ethical. That's extremely important. Okay, so next question that the seminar will be answering: is it okay to be ethical at work but unethical in my personal life away from work? Uh, so what you're trying to say is that, okay, I do my best at work, but out of my job, you know, nobody should care about what I do. I can gossip about people. If I play games, uh, if I lie, if I do any of these negative things, does it really matter? Is it connected or not? I mean, that is something that we need to answer, and you will be answering, inshallah, by the end of this seminar. Next question: is it really worth it? The first, I mean, when you go to a company, is it really worth it to learn and apply a code of ethics? Is this another thing on my head that I have to learn and apply? That is extremely important. And inshallah, you will be answering this by the end of the seminar. Also, will it be? And this is not going to be on your screen. I'm just adding some. I'm sorry. Did you ask anything? Anyone say anything?
Go
Okay.
ahead. I think that there was just a noise.
Okay. Oh, okay. Thank you. No problem. So another question that will come up to your mind, and that is good. Focus with me for a second. Will it will it be enforced by leadership? You know, you look at this nice, beautiful company you're working with, or whatever institution that you're working with. They have this beautiful, beautiful code of ethics. What really matters is leadership really behind it. Are they really going to apply this? And that's extremely important for someone to learn when they go to a company. Or is it just some kind of a beautiful code that we can brag about in front of people? Say, you know, we have a nice code of ethics. Oh, wow, you should learn from it. It's beautiful. It's good. You know, we paid a lot of money for it. We trained for it, but do you really apply it? That's the question. And usually there's something called the tone at the top, meaning it really the first thing, as an auditor, I used to go to the company and audit their accounts. Okay, you know what we used to do is we used to go meet the management at the highest level. Through that highest level, you can understand what kind of a company are you going to be auditing. Are they people with ethics? Are they people that really care? Are they people who are just showing off? Are they relaxed? Are they flexible? Are they in the gray area? Are they serious? Are they not? So really, that shows. So it's the tone that they give you. You can actually tell from that tone what kind of a company you are going to deal with. And then a very, very important question is that, does this code of ethics apply to everyone? And I mean everyone. Or do they have exceptions here and there? The first thing that comes to people's mind is that, oh, you know what? He's the son of the owner. He's the president's nephew. He is the manager's neighbor. So he's probably going to be excused. Or is it not? Does it really apply to everyone? That's very, very important to answer. And then you probably ask, why codes of ethics are important? Because you probably or might be thinking, you know what? I abide by, I'm a religious person. I do what I have to do. I'm very conscious. I'm mindful of God wherever I go. Why should I need a code of ethics? I mean, I'm doing fine without it. I'm conscious. I'm fine. Why should I have to go to sit? So this seminar, inshallah, we'll be answering all of these questions. Take a little breather and let's just step back for a second. And I'm going to give you a nice blank um, slide here. Think with me for a second. What is the goal? I'm trying to pave the way now to go into the real thing now, which is the code of ethics. Why should we have a code of ethics that should be developed and maintained and applied in every company or every organization, even in your own life? What is the ultimate goal for companies in general? It's to make as much profits as possible, right? In general, that's what um, you need to keep in mind. And I would like to say that the questions will be accepted or will be answered, inshallah, at the end of seminar. Okay. So if you have any questions, I'll welcome that. But let me, finish it and go from there, so we don't get interrupted too many times, and we might have some communication problems. So we go to the end. Thank you very much. God bless you. So again, the main thing for companies in general is profit. We want to make profit. We want to make money. And how do you do that is by having as much productivity in your company as possible and as an individual. How can I be productive? You be very efficient doing your work and the best manner you can do through good productivity. But how can I have that high productivity so I can make more money as a company or as an individual? Is by motivating myself as much as possible. I must find some kind of a motivation to do that as a company or as an individual. So what we will do is we will establish a fact that says best and quickest way to increase productivity for individuals and organizations will be listed right now. That's what I'm going to go into because that's what's going to take us into what does it need for us to do to motivate our employees or to motivate ourselves to become better people, more efficient and more productive so we can make more money as a company, as individuals, inshallah. Okay, here's the next. Okay, here's the slide that says what is the best and quickest way to increase productivity for individuals and organizations. Okay, we just talk about companies in general, organizations, is that they need to motivate their employees as much as possible because when you when you motivate your employees, it's one of the highest priorities for organizations so they can increase their productivity. Okay, that is extremely important. So we have to establish the fact that motivating employees is one of the highest priorities of organizations to increase their productivity. Okay, that is done through research without a doubt. Okay, now the second most important point that comes after that is that oh god, I'm trying to go to the next slide. That's all. Okay, self-motivated individuals through research are more productive and satisfied than pay motivated. Okay, you got to keep that.
Excuse me, Basil, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I think Homa wants to ask a question, so let's give her a chance to ask a question.
Okay.
Homa, please.
I don't hear.
Okay, yeah. That's fine. You can go ahead, Basil.
Okay. All right. Good job, maybe. Okay. We were saying that we were saying that motivating employees is one of the highest priorities of organizations to increase their productivity. I'm little by little, I'm trying to build my case. Self-motivated individuals are more productive and satisfied than pay-motivated. Imagine yourself going to work, really looking forward to go to work, really looking forward to engage with people and go to work. I mean, not many people do that these days. Amazing. They just want to go in and get it over with and just go home and do whatever they want to do. It does take a lot to motivate people to go to work and still enjoy work. I remember, like one of the cases I faced is that a company, their computer company, those programmers are going to work. They're being paid very well. And I remember the day that they were coming out so disappointed that whatever project was gone, was done. And then they don't have a big, huge project, so they're doing little things here and there. Even though they are being paid very well, they still are thinking to find another job somewhere else, even if that job was paying them less than that. Imagine that. Because they were just looking forward for a reason to go to work, so enjoy work, to have fun, and then get paid too, very well. Get paid a good salary. So think with me for a second. If you're that good at your job, you want some challenges and you want some motivation, something to push you to go to work. So I tell you, self-motivated individuals, those people are self-motivated. You need to find that drive deep inside you, that passion that makes you go to work. So what is that special? The next is the next line right here in the slide. It says, "What is that special thing an employer should do to transform himself and his employees to become self-motivated for maximum productivity?" A very important fundamental question that anyone in a company, whether he's the head of the company or supervisor, what can I do to become self-motivated and make my employees self-motivated? That's extremely, extremely important. Okay. I would like to give you like one of the most important slides coming up, and I really, really want your attention. And I got some very good evidence to back it up. And as we all know, the code of ethics comes for the most recent code of ethics that we're looking at and we're dealing with right now. We're going to use a lot of it from AOFI, which is the accounting auditing organization for international for Islamic financial institutes. Okay, and I would like to read just one quick little thing that they have on their website to make sure that we give credit where it's due. It's the Accounting and Auditing Organization of Islamic Financial Institutions. Is an Islamic autonomous non-for-profit corporate body that prepares accounting, auditing, governance, ethics, and Sharia standards for Islamic financial institutions and industry. Um, I don't want to go beyond that. All I'm saying is that one thing that really got me, and I've been following them for almost 30 years, is that for them to be able to set the standards, what they did is they took scholars from all over the world. So they are very representative from all over the world, and they made sure these scholars come from all schools of thought, not just the four, even more than that, 6 or 7 schools of thought, so they can all bring in their knowledge into making these standards. I have so much, high respect for AOFI, which is the one that gave me my certificate. But I'm not here to market or do anything. All I'm telling you is just make sure you know where you get your information, and this organization is a very, very good source of information to get your code of ethics and beyond. So we say that Islam, what I would like to say, because the sources of our information, as you saw, for the code of ethics, is the Quran, the Hadith, or the Sunnah, and then the Ijma', and then the Qiyas. Quran, we all know, is the holy book for the Muslims. The Sunnah is, of course, any the Sunnah is the Sunnah is whatever Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, or he has done, or he agreed upon. And of course, there's the Ijma', which is the consensus, and then the Qiyas. Now, we say that Islam highly values work and consider it a worshipping act. Think about this for a second, because now we are trying to lead you into the significance of code of ethics. Why do we really care? Again, read this. Islam highly values work and consider it a worshipping act. Let me read this ayah for you. Okay. Well, actually, let me tell you what happened at the time of Prophet Umar ibn al-Khattab, when he actually had a couple of incidents, many incidents, but a couple of them. Umar ibn al-Khattab, the second Khalifa of the Muslims. What happened is that he sent a man. His name is Sufyan ibn Malik, to Basra, which is in Iraq. Okay, so when that Sufyan is telling us the story. Sufyan is telling us the story. He said, when Omar sent me there, I stayed there and they're working, of course, for the government, for Muslims in general. And then he said, I felt that I wanted to do jihad. I wanted to go do jihad. You know, jihad, you gotta fight very hard, gives your life. Imagine how high of an honor that is. He said, you know what, this is the time, and I excused myself, and I said, I need to get permission from Umar ibn al-Khattab. Imagine that. And you know what Umar said to him? He said to him, أَوَلَسْتَ فِي jihad? Aren't you doing jihad? He is actually working in Basra. He is boiling up, I want to go do jihad in whatever country he wanted to go. He said, stay where you are. You are doing jihad. So keep that in mind, is that Islam considers work as jihad. This is extremely important. Let me give you another before I move on to the next point. Islam considers work as jihad. Umar ibn al-Khattab one time, also Umar, went to a mosque, and he found a man who was actually worshipping Allah continuously. Everyone, please mute your mic. Mute your mic. Make sure you mute your mic. Guys, mute your mic. Thank you. Thank you. So, Omar found a man who was doing his salah continuously, worshiping Allah in a mosque continuously. So he started wondering, and he went to talk to him. He said, "What are you doing? You're staying in this mosque all that time." He said, "Listen." He said Omar asking him, he said, "Who is spending on you? Where do you get your money to be able to sit here and do all what you're doing?" He said, "You know what? I had a deal with my brother. I will sit in the mosque and I will worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and my brother will go and work and he will spend on me." You know what Omar said? Omar said, "أخوك أعبد منك." أخوك أعبد منك, meaning your brother is better of a worshipper than you. He is more faithful than you. That he is working out there, trying, striving hard. You are just sitting here peacefully. No, this is not what worshiping is all about. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is inside the mosque and he is outside of the mosque. He's all over and he's watching you. Don't think that religion is just sitting in this mosque and that's what the definition of religious is. So that's not the case. So he understood. So again, Islam considers work as jihad. Also, Islam considers exhaustion and fatigue at work as an act of cleansing sins. Anyone who goes at night and work hard or daytime and goes through the roughness of this work, definitely that exhaustion, that work will clean you up and cleanse you up and does tazkiyah, as we say. Tazkiyah means cleaning and cleansing. So you have to understand that too. Islam made it the norm of prophets to work. Every prophet that was sent by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to humankind had a job. So don't think, just as a prophet, I'm just going to sit back and accept the revelations from God and I just give it to people. No, I have to go out there and be a role model. And of course, Prophet Muhammad was one of them. Listen to what Allah said in Surah Al-Furqan, chapter Al-Furqan, verse 20. He said, وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَا قَبْلَكَ مِنَ الْمُرْسَلِينَ إِلَّا أَنَّهُمْ لَا يَأْكُلُونَ الطَّعَامَ وَيَمْشُونَ فِي الْأَسْوَاقِ. And we have not sent before you any messengers, but they most surely ate food and went about in the markets. In the markets means trading and doing what needs to be done to earn money. That's what he's telling you in the Quran. Imagine that. So that is the Islam made it the norm of prophets to work. Islam made it work, the next one, made work a goal to be attained. And not only for the sake of getting money. So he's not just telling you, go out there, gain good money and spend it in a good manner, for a good reason. He asks you even work itself. The act of work is an act of worship. Listen to this hadith, and I know for a fact you're all going to love it, and you'll start using it. Okay? Because you're going to use it mostly even for older people. Older people, all of a sudden, I've had enough. I'm going to just go retire. I will have a good time. I'll go, around the world. I'll go start visiting people, thinking, I've done what I need to do in my life. No, 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 no. Wait. Tell him wait. Tell him listen to this hadith by Prophet alayhi salam, and from there you can understand. You can understand what work is, even to the last second in your life. Prophet alayhi salam said, "In qamat as-sa'a, wa fi yadi ahadikum fasila, فإن استطاع ألا يقوم حتى يغرسها فليفعل." That's in Sahih Bukhari. He said, if the day of judgment started and one of you had a plant in his hand, let him not get up until he plants it. To the last second of your life, Prophet is asking you to go to work, have the right ethics, right conduct, do everything you can, because this is not real life. Up there is real life. This is just dunya. That's what Prophet is telling you. To the last second of your life. And he was to the extreme and said, even if you see the signs of the day of judgment, everything's exploding, fire, all that, and it's starting, and you're about to die, you see that, you're still planted, the last second work. That's what Prophet ﷺ said. So that is what I said. Made work as a goal to be attained. This is a goal. Go to work as a goal, not just to say, I want to have money. Okay, you have a lot of money. What are you going to do? Sit home? No, you still go to work. Okay? You can help, you can do a lot of things. All right. Islam requires humankind to strive hard and do their best in making Earth a better place to live in. We call it Imarat al-Ard in Arabic. We are all asked, Imarat al-Ard. Of course, we might have non-Muslims listening to us right now. Don't say, this is just for Muslims. No. Even a non-Muslim should understand what is the mentality and the attitude of a Muslim, so they can be able to market things to them, to deal with them, to live harmony with them. They understand where do I bring my ideas and where I come from. So you have to understand that we were being asked by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to do something called Imarat al-Ard. Listen to this. He says in Surah Hud, in chapter Hud, from the Quran, verse 61, he said, يَا قَوْمِ اعْبُدُوا اللَّهَ مَا لَكُم مِّنْ إِلَٰهٍ غَيْرُهُ هُوَ أَنشَأَكُم مِّنَ الْأَرْضِ وَاسْتَعْمَرَكُمْ فِيهَا. اسْتَعْمَرَكُم. O my people of Allah, He started you from the earth and ordered you to build it, meaning do your best to make it a better place. For those people that release all this in the air and the bad, things here and there, and just make this world for their own benefit, for their own interest. They throw things in the oceans. All of this is not acceptable in Islam. They don't have ethics. They simply don't have that. Okay. So now, we have a beautiful, nice conclusion. To maintain a high level of faith, you should never stop working. Work actually is a worshiping act. Work is a worshiping act. So that is actually the conclusion of this slide, which I believe is so important for you to know how important or how significant the code of ethics is to make you value work and to make you even a better worshiping person and more faithful. Now, let's go one step and focus with me. I gave you an empty slide for a reason here, so you can really focus with me for a second. Listen to this. Because work is a worshiping act, we have to be serious about work. We have to be focusing and concentrating on doing better job and becoming more productive, more efficient. Why? Because everything I told you, I would like to support it also from the Quran to make you, firmly believe that what has been asked by Allah is serious. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, خُذُوا مَا آتَيْنَاكُمْ بِقُوَّةٍ. Take what I have given you seriously. He's not joking. And he's asking you, go work and do a good job there. So you have to be very serious. It's an order from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and it's the number one source of every action you take. خذوا ما آتيناكم بقوة. And then also he says, ادخلوا في السلم كافة. A lot of people like to break up Islam, say, you know what, I would like to do this, but I don't like that. It's okay, you know, I'm not ready for that. He says, ادخلوا في السلم كافة. Come into Islam, all of Islam. Don't fraction Islam, say, I like this, I like everything. So everything that Islam brings in, you have to abide by it, and work is one of them. Okay, that is a worshipping act. Also, in Surah Al-Baqarah, it says, صبغة الله. وَمَنْ أَحْسَنُ مِنَ اللَّهِ صبغة. صبغة Allah means the color of Allah. It's in Surah Al-Baqarah. It's a very nice way of saying صبغة Allah is the color of Allah, meaning you have to color yourself with the color of Islam. Is one color. You cannot have dots here and patched up here and say, you know what, I want blue here and green. It's one nice color. Look at the wall behind me. You see one nice color, meaning accepting all of Islam, not some of it. So when you do that, you understand, okay, he asked me to work and he asked me to do a good job, to be efficient and be productive, then I have to give up and say that. And let me say this ayah for you, and it might be too harsh, but you know what, it's okay. I want you to learn today. Prophet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I believe in Surah Al-Dukhan, chapter Al-Dukhan, he says, وَمَا خَلَقْنَا السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضَ وَمَا بَيْنَهُمَا لَاعِبِينَ. He says, I was not playing when I created heavens and earth. Allah is saying, I was not playing. Imagine that. He's coming down to speak to us in our own level, own language. He said, I was not playing. So if I ask you, if I order you to do something, please do it and stick to it. And of course, before all of these ayahs, there's one ayah. If you say it, there will be more than enough. It says, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. The only reason that I have created you is to worship me. Allah is saying that. And working is part of worshiping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that's a nice conclusion that will make us very hungry, make us very thirsty to go after this code of ethics and understand the code of ethics is actually part of my religion. It should be part of my life, because we all understand Islam is a way of life. It's not just every Friday, once a week, twice a week, none of that. It's continuous. So let's go here to the next stage, inshallah, which is let's go to companies that that do have a code of ethics that's not being applied. You know, you see a lot of people going in. It's either that company does not have a code of ethics or does have a code of ethics that they do not apply. Let's see what happens. What kind of conduct you would see from employees who are not following the code of ethics, or the company does not have a code of ethics. And let's look at this and see how much energy, how much resources are being just wasted because of the lack of code of ethics. Let me take you to the next slide. Okay. I'm going to quote examples of bad conduct at work: not applying code of ethics, okay, or not having code of ethics at all. Okay. This is what happened. The person who's not acting upon this does not seek to perfect his job. He doesn't care. I do some of it here, I delay some of it tomorrow. He doesn't have something to push him to do that. Okay, someone need to mute his mic. Make sure everyone mute your mic, please. Mute your mic, please. Mute. One of you still has his mic on. Okay.
Hello, Rafiq. Your microphone is on, and I'm trying to turn it off, but it's not working here.
Okay. The one who doesn't apply the code of ethics, what do you see him do when he go to work? Really, constantly complaining, procrastinating. I will do this tomorrow. I will do this after that. I will do this. Always criticizing people. Always criticizing, because when he criticizes people, he gets attention. Accusing others and disagreeing just for the sake of disagreeing. A lot of people do that, and they just come in. They're not ready to work. They're not ready to give. They want to give partial. Uh, their productivity is very low, and part of their work is to delay and just push some of that work another day and whatever. So they will just complain, procrastinate, they criticize, and so on and so forth. Okay. Uh, they take advantage of their position for personal gains for themselves, and they accept gifts. Well, those people really, they don't really care much about their reputation, about anything. They will actually take advantage. And let me tell you, there's nothing wrong with taking gifts from people, but there are some rules there. I can deal with two people, give the same exact amount for doing the same exact thing, but one of them can be called a bribery, which is rashwa in Arabic, and the other one can be a gift. Do you know the difference between two? It's timing. If I go to someone and say, if you do this for me, I will, give you, or here's some money, and I want you to do, a good job for me and finish my paperwork quickly. So you give him a bribe. You give him this so you can put your paperwork ahead of everyone. So that is a bribe. Now, if you go to someone else, give him the same exact amount, but when do you give it to him? After he's done with work, without telling him, when you finish, I will give it to you. Then that is a gift, and that's acceptable. That's fine. That is fine. And you don't even gesture. You don't wait. You look at him and say, I will do that, without saying you can do that. Don't show him that you will give him something. And if he does it without you saying that you will promise him something, and you give him money, that's fine. That's a gift. That's okay. That's acceptable. But a lot of people, they slow down intentionally. They put things away, your paperwork or whatever they're working for, let's say government or something, for the sake of hoping that you might want to give them some money or something that they can work on your paperwork, even though it's part of their job. Okay, so those people who don't really care, they have very bad conduct. They take advantage of their position. Okay, and they actually accept that. Does not respect confidentiality. This is a very bad thing here. And you see people when you go to companies or organizations, they actually brag uh, about um, about exposing secrets. What I mean by that is that they always get attention from their gang or from people that work with, and what they will do is always have some information that others don't have. They go into behind the scenes. They try to. That's how they thrive. That's how they keep going and all that. And let's move on and see um, the good conduct. Actually, let's stay with the bad. We have still another one. Hold on a second. Okay. Um, and that person who does not follow the code of conduct, or who or the company does not have a code of conduct, people don't actually comply with work rules, policies, and procedures. They don't care. And then the next one is that do not treat customers well. No, nothing is holding them back, because what the code of conduct, you have to enforce it. You don't enforce it, this is what's happening. They're not tolerant, and they do not forgive flaws of the customers. And look at the next one. You're gonna love this one. A lot of people go to companies for this sake. Listen, look, they just go there to gossip, 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 gossip. Talk about everyone you can imagine. They lie left and right, and they spy. They want to see who's with who, and who's talking to who, and who's doing what, and then they pass information to others, and that's how they thrive. Okay. And one of the worst part is that they claim that they know others' intention. I knew that when he did that, this is what he meant by it, and I knew what he did that. This is what he did, and they go on the intentions. That's how they thrive. So we have to be careful to understand that code of ethics is so important, because if you don't have one, or if you don't apply it, this is what you're gonna go through. Okay, these bad conducts. Now let's look at the other side. Let's look at the other side and look at examples of good conduct at work. Good conduct means a company that does have code of ethics, so a company that does have a code of ethics and is carrying out that code of ethics. What happens in this company? People accept responsibility and the extra load of work. They do that when you have when you have a good code of ethics. People do not break their promises. Employees, they are on time. They are on time and for their appointments and their meetings. Okay, the person there that follows this code of ethics is happy, is appreciated, he's comfortable, he knows that going to a place that appreciates him, so he accepts to teach others, mentor others, trains them, help others. That's what they do. And also they accept constructive criticism. They know that's part of life. That's fine with them. So, and of course they give credit to where and when it's due. Okay. So this is the examples of good conduct. That's how much energy could be or work or resources can be given to this company if you do have this good conduct, and how much it can be missed if you have very bad conduct. Okay. What are the benefits of code of ethics in organizations? We looked at the bad conduct of people and the good conduct of people who are applying it. But what are the benefits in general? In general, for the organization who was carrying out this code of ethics, positive correlation with productivity and organizations' profits. Let me tell you this: there was research done. There was research done. Um, Hundreds of companies here in the United States, and they found a correlation. They found a relationship between productivity and profit. You know, of course, the more productive the company, the more motivated the employees are, the more productive they are, and the more profits you will find for these companies. When you have a good code of ethics in the organization, what happens is you're going to have less conflicts. You have less, disagreements, less arguments, and you're going to have less inconsistencies and clashes. Why? Because our expectations are very clear. The company is telling you this is what I expect from you, and this is what you need to do, and this is how you need to do it. This is your attitude, and you carry it out. You'll be very happy. We'll appreciate you. You'll feel at home. So the expectations are very clear. Other companies, you don't know what you're doing. You don't know what are the standards. How do you go about your work? Everything's accepted. Everything is okay, or everything's not okay. So you don't know how to measure your productivity or to measure your actions in the company.
Your
These
actions in the company.
companies benefits of the code of ethics in organizations also higher